Hey, welcome back to the channel. So if you are someone who is looking to really manifest big things in your life and you understand the importance of your mindset and your energy and keeping it in alignment with your vision, but you have maybe a day or a series of days or weeks where all of a sudden you feel like you're in a rut, maybe you feel more negative or down or just not in a good place as you would like to be. And now it's causing you to really question your manifestations, beginning to doubt, is that vision going to come into reality? Have I now just messed it all up with all of this not feeling goodness? If you are going through that or you're experiencing that, I want to really speak directly to you in this video and give you some support and solutions to help you not just move past it, but to really understand what's happening and to ideally ease your mind to also know you're not screwing up. Welcome if you are new here. I'm so happy we're here. We are a growing community. We are still very new. And for each of you that is subscribing to this channel, it brings so much gratitude that you're on this journey with me. I promise you, being here will improve your life. Video by video, we'll be touching on different parts of mindset manifestation to help you really create the most extraordinary, rich life available for you. What I'm going to share with you today, as a bit of a departure maybe from other days where I look more at the neuroscience of manifestation, right? Really peeling back the scientific approach to manifestation. What I want to share with you today is a very real, personal, lived experience. Because oftentimes I feel like when we're on our journey, or just in life in general, we can really feel like we're the only person experiencing something. So I want you to know you're not. And if you resonate with what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video, you can definitely know that you're not the only one, because it is also my story, my lived reality. And so I am in the process of manifesting some of the most incredible things into my life yet. I've shared in different videos the process I take to do that. So one of them is, goal cards. And I have it literally sat here in front of me on my goal card, the 3 key things that I am most excited about. Things that my soul truly desires. These are not things to impress other people or that I'm trying to achieve so that people will look at me in a different way. It is things that I truly, truly want, right? So that's the first thing to know. So when you have that desire, really checking in that it's what you want. And so assuming that that's where you are and you're going through your processes of, practicing gratitude, visualizing it, connecting with that future reality and experiencing it as if it is now, then you are on the right track. However, there is this pressure sometimes to feel like we must be really positive. We must always be in like a high vibe. We must always keep our thoughts and our mind absolutely clear and focused on what we want in order to manifest it. And I'm not sure about you, but for me as a human in this life experience, this game that we're experiencing, that can sometimes be challenging. And as much as you can have all the best intentions and all the practices in place, there are times where it feels like it's all going to shit and things just are not working out as you want them to, and that you just feel crap. And that is exactly where I was today, to be really frank. And so I had a different video plan for sharing with you, but I thought, if I'm going through this, someone else is going through it. And let me share my experience, because if I can help even just one of you shift your energy, shift your perspective, and maybe shift your day and the rest of this week, then this is a valuable video and I will be grateful to have shared it. So this is where I was at. I have caught myself in this pattern of less than helpful habits, going to bed too late, getting up too late, not doing the things that I know I should be doing, the things that I know help me stay in alignment, like my nervous system work or my gratitude journal or my EFT tapping, practices that I love to do normally. But in the last 3 or 4 days, I've just caught myself in this cycle of not feeling good. And so today I really was just like struggling to find the motivation to really get up and get back into my work and, do the things that normally just come so easy for me. And I've always noticed that it's in those times that I've departed from those usual rituals that I have, that I love, that bring more joy into my life. That is when I end up going down this kind of dark hole a little bit. And so for me, my crutch, the thing I always rely on, even if I feel like I cannot sit here right now and meditate, I don't want to do a gratitude journal, I don't want to do some tapping right now, Getting out in nature for a walk is always my go-to. It has been since, my childhood, going for walks with my mom and just like going to the park and just being in nature and being outside and moving and just really checking in with what's happening in my mind. Now, the mind is like an extraordinary place, and it's also a really dangerous place, because the trick is, and the issue is, that we can often believe what our mind is telling us. So our mind can come up with a thought and then a story, and it creates this whole narrative around that we can buy into as if it's true. And so what had happened is I was having 3 or 4 not great days, kind of in this little bit of a rut, not having great practices. And so I started to create this narrative without even really being aware of it, of you're failing, like you're not doing good, you're a little bit of, like you're a bit of a failure right now. And so it obviously started making me feel like crap. And it became this self-perpetuating cycle of I wasn't feeling good. I created this thought. My mind believed the thought. I started believing what my mind was telling me. And then I started feeling worse. And it's so crazy how the mind works. And as someone, like, I have been doing this work for over 15 years. I have been to all the seminars, the events, the programs. I teach this, like I study this constantly. It still amazes me that our mind can trick us. And I'm so grateful that at least I have this awareness so that I can catch myself. Now, ideally, I would like to catch myself, 20 seconds into it, but that's not always how life works. And, things can happen. And if you're a woman watching this, you'll also know that different phases of the month can lead to all sorts of different hormonal changes, and it can really impact you emotionally. And so this is where I was at. And so what I did was I went outside. I was like, I know I can go into nature. That will be one thing. That will be one win for today. And I opened up my podcast and I saw a video about the neuroscience of manifestation, which is something I love. I don't really resonate as much with and we call it woo-woo, but like just the kind of hocus pocus of manifestation. Like I like to understand things, understand why visualization works, why goal cards work, why gratitude writing works. Like I don't want to do things just for the sake of it because someone's told me. I like to understand the reason why. Very logical brain from my decade plus working in corporate and finance and accounting. And so I'm out and I'm listening to this video, and the very first second of the video says, our mind is negatively biased and we can believe the limiting thoughts that it tells us. And I then paused the podcast and I was like, that's all I needed to hear right now. And I realized that the reason I was starting to feel so bad and the reason that my habits were now going to a place that I didn't want them to is because I was believing the lies my mind was telling me. And I was buying into this story of, that you're a little bit of a failure right now because you're not doing enough and that you're not creating enough and you're not as good as you were last week, right? Last week, look how good things were. And then this week in comparison, look at where you're at. And so when I began to see the pattern of negative self-talk, I really just stopped myself. I paused the podcast, took my earphones out, and literally started to say, okay, focus on the positive. And now I know that is not a groundbreaking statement, but it is so easily bypassed. Focus on the positive. All right, Laura, what is going good right now? And I was forcing myself, what is going good? You know what? Things are not so bad. My business is still going great. My relationship with my partner is amazing. We have a great family dynamic. My body is healthy. I'm outside. I can breathe. I can hear the birds. I'm alive. I'm awake. I at least have the awareness that I can check in on my mind so that this doesn't become my life, my story, that I can catch myself in this moment. Like there's so much to be grateful for and so much that is going well. Things are going okay. You're doing your best. You're doing your best. And please hear that and know that is for you too. You are doing your best and you're doing great with whatever is going on in your life right now, with whatever circumstances are happening that maybe are not supporting you to feel your best right now. And maybe there's life situations coming up as they are for me. And maybe it's thrown you off a little bit and it's taking you a minute longer to get back on track. Just know you're doing your best and you're doing great. So please bring some ease and grace and love to yourself in these moments, which will happen again, right? We are on this journey of being human in this body with this mind that we don't fully understand. These things are going to come to the surface again. And I really want this video to be a reminder to you to not believe your thoughts, that what your mind is telling you isn't always true, that you're doing great, you're doing the best that you can in this moment with what you have available for you. And it's going to be okay. And now take a moment and think. Tell yourself, what are 3 things that are going great for you right now? Maybe you have the equipment to listen to a video to help shift your mindset. Maybe you're walking, listening to this. You have legs to go walk on. We do not always need to find the most insane reasons to, there's so much that's happening that's good for you right now. And I really just wanted to share this message because I truly believe that if I can help shift the perspective of one listener today, then it was a video worth sharing, a little bit off script compared to maybe other videos, but I felt really, really compelled to share that. And just remember, our mind is a beautiful place, but it can be a dangerous place if we're not keeping track of it, if we're not keeping awareness of it, and to not believe everything that it tells you. And that's really what I wanted to share with you. Because after going for the walk, after shifting my perspective on, everything actually is not going as bad as you think, I realized that my mind, which again is negatively biased, was blowing up out of proportion this small change in habits because of this other thing that's happening. And okay, it's impacting me, but you're doing the best that you can. And I came back in a completely different energy state and a completely different mindset. And that was literally from about 10 minutes just going through that practice. And I know it works because I've literally just gone through it. So I really hope that you will practice this. If this is something that you're going through right now, or maybe in the future, come back to this, practice it. And I hope that it works for you. And thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this community.